Now we're going to glue the fingerboard onto the sound box. But before we do that, we want to number the frets. Now each of these frets has a little mark that was put on there so we knew where to put the staples when we were putting those on there. The staples are the frets. That's where we'll be pushing the string to get different notes. So we're going to number the frets, starting with number 1, 2, 3, and so forth. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, especially on this one, it's made out of walnut. It's very hard to see. So you'll probably want to take a Sharpie or some kind of permanent black pen and make the numbers darker so that you can see them. So I'll do that now. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still a little bit hard to see on the walnut, but if we get a little closer, you can see what they look like. Some of you might have cherry or maple fingerboards, and then the numbers show up even better. But when you can see them in good light, you'll be able to notice that just fine. And now we're going to glue it on the box. First thing we want to do is at this end of the box, there's a little flap sticking up out of the hole. And when we bring the fingerboard up there, we want it to come right up to that flap, but not be on top of it. So come right up to the flap and in front of it. On this end, we have to go over the flap. There's no way to avoid that. So we're gonna have to push extra hard on that end. But on this end, we'll come up to that flap. So once you've tried it in that position, then what I do is I flip the fingerboard over. And if you'll notice, the nut, this little black metal cylinder here, is right about at the end of the box. We don't need to put glue on this part of this from about that nut up on the backside because it sticks out from the box. So what I like to do is I like to take my glue bottle and put one bead of glue right there where the nut is on the other side. And I know not to put any glue there. And then on the rest of the fingerboard, I make 1, 2, 3 beads of glue, like that. You don't want to make them too thick. If they come out, if your glue is coming out really fast, you might want to only put 1 or 2 beads of glue. This didn't come out too bad. I think it'll be about the right amount. Then I take my finger and I smear the glue around so that every bit of the back of the fingerboard is covered except for that end that we talked about that sticks out. We don't need to put glue on there. And the glue comes right up to the end, just like that. And now I run my finger just to make sure we don't have any dry spots. There we go. And then we're going to flip the fingerboard over up against that flap there and over the other hole, centering it. So it's right in the middle. You can maybe see it's right up against that little flap. And then we have to push down on the nut and the bridge, those 2 black cylinders on either end, and hold it down tightly for 5 minutes. The middle of the fingerboard will glue fine, but it's on the ends where it likes to come loose. And we don't want the fingerboard coming loose from the box. So if you hold it down tightly, just lean on it. Don't press and let go, press and let go. Just hold it steady. You can even kind of get yourself up over it. It's very strong on the ends, the box is. But don't push here in the middle because you could break the box. Just push on the ends. That's where the most trouble will be getting it to stick. In about 5 minutes, it should be pretty well glued on there, but then you should let it dry for at least another 25 minutes before you try and play it. Again, it will still be drying and it won't be solid, and if you play it, it might kind of loosen the fingerboard and it won't hold as tightly as it should. So that's all there's to it.